Item is seen at 6.
The White House loses. A federal judge rules the president's personal bodyguard must testify before the Ken Starr grand jury. HMOs and retirement. Big changes coming for both. What it could mean for you and your family. In depth tonight, manhunt. Eric Rudolph, the bomb suspect, hide and seek, $1 million reward. And the hottest place in America. Why so many people come here now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. The White House lost a big one in its battle to keep the Secret Service agents from testifying before the Ken Starr grand jury, and the president's personal bodyguard could appear as early as tomorrow morning. A federal judge ruled against the White House after a day of heated political exchanges on this issue. We start with the latest tonight from NBC's Claire Shipman, who's at the White House. Claire?
Tom, right now the president's lead Secret Service agent and 6 other uniformed officers are prepared to go before the grand jury tomorrow morning to testify. NBC News was told that Judge Norma Holloway Johnson late this afternoon ruled against a Justice Department appeal for delay. Now, an appeals court might still step in, but right now no stay or delay has been granted.
What's wrong with this picture? The president heading back to the White House this morning. Someone is missing. The lead agent usually at the president's side whenever he goes anywhere, Larry Cockle. Why? Sources say Cockle spent the day preparing to testify before the grand jury tomorrow. Because of his close proximity to the president, Ken Starr has subpoenaed Cockle to see what he knows about Clinton's relationship with Monica Lewinsky. And at the White House, the press secretary, who normally avoids comment on the investigation, unleashes a bitter attack on Starr and his efforts to force Secret Service testimony.
The Secret Service agents who protect the President of the United States with their lives are dedicated, serious professionals, and they should not be slimed by Ken Starr and his operatives.
McCurry was specifically referring to a report on NBC that came from congressional sources close to the investigation. That report said Starr is investigating whether Secret Service agents may have actually, quote, facilitated the president's alleged relationship with Lewinsky. Starr's office adamantly denied leaking any information about the Secret Service to anyone. And the president's lawyers today blasted a report that Starr might question Agent Cockle about private conversations he overheard the day Clinton was deposed in the Paula Jones matter. Any backdoor attempt by this prosecutor to invade the president's right to consult with personal counsel will be aggressively and firmly resisted, wrote the president's legal team.
Again, a last-minute ruling at the appeals court level could delay testimony, but if they do have to answer questions, sources say that the agents, Cockle included, are prepared to answer every question put to them as they're legally bound to do. Tom?
Thank you, Claire. This is not just an argument over procedures and precedent. What does the Secret Service know that Ken Starr wants to hear? Tim Russert is Washington Bureau Chief and moderator of Meet the Press. Tim, what does Ken Starr have in mind here?
Tom, he wants to drive a stake at the heart of the relationship between the Secret Service and the president. If an agent was in the car, he wants to know what they heard. If an agent heard things in the hallways, he wants to know. The suggestions of, did the Secret Service know when Monica Lewinsky came to see the president? If she did, how long did she say? Bottom line, Ken Starr wants to know everything. And the Secret Service are saying, we can't do our job if we have to tell everything. If there was a crime, we would have reported it.
How much does Ken Starr know in advance of all this testimony, Tim?
We don't know if this is a fishing expedition or he has other corroborating evidence, Tom. That is what has caused so much anxiety in Washington today. John Wilkie, the first head of the Secret Service, Tom, wrote a memo one time which said, our agents are deaf, dumb, and blind when it comes to presidential actions. It appears no longer the case.
Some people in Congress apparently feel that Ken Starr does know something, however.
Absolutely, Tom. Members of Congress have been talking to investigators, people, lawyers associated with the grand jury, people who are free to talk, and they are coming to some conclusions that perhaps Secret Service agents may have been, quote, facilitating. We don't know whether that's Republican spin, partisan spin, ideological spin, or there's a germ of evidence. Ken Starr is determined to find out, and it has caused deep concerns at the White House and within the Secret Service, men and women who put their lives on the line every day for the president.
Thanks very much. Tim Russert at the White House tonight. Still ahead tonight, the fleecing of America. They put their faith and a lot of money in the hands of one man. Now the school's treasuries are almost empty.
That amount of money that we lost is just entirely inconceivable.
Why these kids took a big hit from bad investments. Later, one of the hottest places on earth. Why would anyone brave the searing heat of Death Valley?
You already know how important calcium is for your bones, but did you know that 85% of women still don't get enough? So start your day with Total. It's the only leading cereal that's an excellent source of calcium, even before adding milk. In fact, Total has more calcium than the milk itself. No other leading cereal comes close. Simple, low-fat, delicious. So good, you can feel it in your bones. Total Raisin Bran, Total Cornflakes. One bowl, one great source of calcium.
If you quit working after only 4 hours, you'd probably get fired, right? Right. That's what ordinary pain relievers do. Work for a while, then quit. But now there's a leave. Only a leave has the strength to work all day long with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. So if the pain reliever you use doesn't work the way you want, fire it. Fire it. And take a leave. 2 pills. All day relief. Works for me.
Discover the great-tasting fiber therapy that won't produce excess gas. Discover Citracel. Citracel is different. All other powdered fiber therapies, including Metamucil, contain psyllium, which can ferment in your system to initially produce excess gas. Citracel's fiber can't. No fermentation, no excess gas. And people prefer the taste of Citracel over Metamucil 2-to-1. Taste tests prove it. Get effective relief without excess gas, and better taste, too. Get Citracel.
Tonight, the battle is joined on how to manage care, HMOs. The growing unhappiness over HMOs is a major political issue, and tonight, the congressional Republicans are out with their plan to fix health care. But will it work? Here's NBC's Gwen Eiffel.
Take a deep breath, honey.
Kim Little is at the heart of a raging national health care debate. At her home in Austin, Texas, as well as in the halls of the nation's capital, HMOs are the enemy. Little's HMO refused to pay for the cancer treatment that saved her life, so she quit her job.
I'm supposed to be fighting cancer, and I'm supposed to be, being a mother to my son, and I have to pour all my energy into fighting with the insurance company day after day after day.
In Congress today, Democrats and Republicans pushed competing solutions. Republicans want new options like special savings accounts for medical care and to make directories of acceptable doctors obsolete.
And tear it right up. It's gone. You don't need it.
While Democrats want to fix what they say is one of the worst aspects of managed care, that patients cannot more easily sue their HMOs.
At its worst, managed care can also dehumanize health care, hamstringing doctors' decisions, alienating patients, even endangering lives.
Judy Lerner flew to the Capitol from California for the Democrats' hearing today. She said her HMO denied her home care while she was confined with casts on 2 broken legs. And Lerner even worked for an insurance company.
I'm an insider. I know the law. I know the questions to ask. I know the issues to raise. And I know the people to talk to. When I can't get through this system, what's the average person doing?
Bashing HMOs has even become part of popular culture.
They said my plan didn't cover it and that it wasn't necessary anyways. Why should they have?
But despite the horror stories, many doctors say HMOs have improved medical care too.
In the old days, mammograms weren't paid for, immunization wasn't paid for, baby care, physical exams, none of that stuff.
And with 72 million Americans now in HMOs, it's the most potent political issue of the year. But just agreeing that the system is broken isn't enough. Now both sides have to figure out how to fix it without breaking the bank. Gwen Eiffel, NBC News, the Capitol.
And there's more tonight on another big debate, whether to raise the retirement age to save Social Security. Today, the General Accounting Office reported such a move would hurt blue-collar workers more than professionals. NBC's Jim Avila tonight on that numbers game.
Raising the retirement age, the next national debate. But at 63, Jimmy Smith doesn't want to discuss it.
I think 65 is enough. I don't think we need any more.
Smith loves his job, but after 30 years as a doorman, he's against any government proposal to raise the retirement age to 70.
I think it's time to move on to the next phase.
The problem is that too many Americans are ready for the next phase. The number of people 65 and older is growing, from 18 million in 1998 to almost double, more than 31 million in the year 2020. The numbers are alarming because Social Security for the retired is paid by those still on the job. And soon, those working people will be vastly outnumbered.
We'll end up with one person working for 50 people who are retired.
Today, Congress began hearings on a bill that would gradually raise the retirement age to cut Social Security costs. Today's 35-year-old would not be eligible to retire until age 70, the year 2029.
Now is the time to act. Now.
Eleanor Barrett knows to the day when she's going to retire.
4 years and 2 months.
She's on her feet and exhausting 8 hours a day as a supermarket checker.
I don't think I could last another 5 years.
Some jobs are tougher and working longer won't be easy. In fact, 45% of all blue-collar workers suffer from arthritis. 28% have foot problems. 27% bad backs. Still, Dr. Jim Webster of Northwestern University Medical School's Center on Aging says today's older Americans are generally healthy enough to work until 70 and are better off if they do.
Resting your bones is a sure recipe for an unsuccessful aging experience.
Robert Val agrees. At 58, he has no intention of retiring from his tour boat business and bristles at the notion that the government wants to force him to work to 70.
It's our money. It's not theirs. We send it to them.
And right now, Congress wants to give it back a lot slower by asking every American to work a lot longer. Jim Avila, NBC News, Chicago.
In the GM strike tonight, the Auto Workers Union has agreed to the company's request to allow an independent arbitrator to settle the question of whether these strikes are legal. The company is claiming the walkouts at 2 Michigan plants violates the union contract. The hearing has been set for next week. And there was a bit of backpedaling on Wall Street today after yesterday's record breaker. From CNBC, the Dow Jones Industrials lost 11 points on very heavy trading at the end of the day. But the NASDAQ kept to its record pace, closing up more than 26 points today. When we come back, NBC News in depth tonight, a massive manhunt intensifies. But will they catch one of the 10 most wanted men in America? What's the role of the big reward?
Allergies are a nightmare. You need help, not just any help. You need the power of Zyrtec. Prescription Zyrtec starts working fast and keeps on working for 24 hours. And Zyrtec works against so many allergies, from cats and dogs to pollen and dust. So when allergies are a nightmare, and when are they not? Remember the power of Zyrtec. In studies, drowsiness was the most common side effect. Others included fatigue and dry mouth. Most side effects were mild or moderate. Most people weren't bothered by them enough to stop taking Zyrtec. To learn more, look for an ad in Life magazine or ask your doctor or pharmacist.
You're not buying one of those laxatives. It's got stimulants that may cause cramping. Says who? Says on the label. Phillips is the only one that doesn't. Now remember, nothing's better.
How could she forget?
Phillips, effective relief without harsh stimulants.
3 things I always do before I barbecue ribs. Whip up my secret hot sauce, get the coals just right, and I always take a Pepsid AC.
Whatever's cooking, Pepsid AC can stop heartburn before it starts.
Oh, yeah.
Dateline Friday. You're in the market for a used car, and this little gem's almost new.
Has a special suspension, special wheels and tires, special exhaust system.
But watch out. Instead of a bargain, you could be getting a lemon. Lee Thompson confronts one auto dealer.
If you're going to mess up, you may as well mess up on Dateline.
A hidden camera investigation. Dateline Summertime. All new, 10, 9 Central, NBC Friday.
NBC News in depth tonight, turning up the heat on one of the 10 most wanted, Eric Robert Rudolph. Wanted in the bombing of that Alabama abortion clinic and for questioning in several other high-profile bombings. He's been the target of an intense search for almost 6 months, with up to 100 federal agents hot on his trail. A trail very close to his home in far western North Carolina. With a $1 million bounty on his head, you'd think that they would be able to find him. But this isn't a typical manhunt. We have 2 reports in depth tonight. We'll begin with NBC's Frederica Whitfield.
The search for Eric Rudolph moved today from a relative standstill to full speed ahead.
It's rough. If anybody's not hunted it or fished it, you don't realize how tough it is. About the only way you can get through some of it is lay down and crawl.
The terrain slows the search, despite last week's sighting of Rudolph at a friend's house near popular camping grounds. Today, investigators enforce roadblocks and conduct aerial searches near where Rudolph, former infantryman and trained survivalist, was last seen in camouflage.
He's told people in the past that if he ever got in trouble for anything, that he would feel very comfortable in these woods, that he feels that he has the upper hand.
And so far, Rudolph's strategy of blending into the woods appears to be working.
It would be entirely possible for people searching on the ground to pass within 10, 12 feet of the guy and maybe not see him.
The other problem facing investigators is the nature of this tightly knit farm community, where in downtown Andrews, residents feel a closer kinship to any of their neighbors than to lawmen. This makes reliable information on Rudolph hard to get.
I've had people tell me, Homer, if I knew where he's at, I wouldn't tell you. And that's just the way it is.
And some business owners and residents are fearful of helping authorities.
Oh, I would turn him in if I knew where he was. I wouldn't want everybody to know I turned him in, however, you know.
A close-knit community nestled deep in a forest, the perfect hideout for one of the nation's 10 most wanted men. Frederica Whitfield, NBC News, Andrews, North Carolina.
This is Pete Williams in Washington. $1 million on every FBI wanted poster from Maine to Florida for information leading to Eric Rudolph's arrest. One of the largest rewards ever. But has it helped? The man who phoned in the most recent tip, who Rudolph visited last Thursday, may not qualify since he waited at least 2 days before reporting it, giving Rudolph a head start. But the reward has generated nationwide publicity. Hikers on the Appalachian Trail see Rudolph's picture nearly everywhere, making it harder for him to blend in.
We also want to make sure that it is more difficult for him to use that trail as a means of escape from this area.
In big manhunts, rewards can make a difference. A year ago, the attention over the reward for suspected serial murderer Andrew Cunanan left him feeling so isolated and helpless, police say, that he took his own life. Among the drawbacks, rewards generate thousands of well-meaning but useless tips, nicknamed Elvis sightings. But some tips are invaluable. The man found guilty of killing Bill Cosby's son was arrested after a friend called police to get a $100,000 reward. And police departments nationwide offer small rewards of only $1,000 that make the difference.
There are cases in this county that would probably go unsolved if it were not for the community coming forward, giving police officers the information.
Investigators on the trail of Eric Rudolph hope $1 million will be enough to convert any friends who might otherwise be reluctant to help the federal government find a suspected bomber. Pete Williams, NBC News, Washington.
Up next, a fleecing of America that's hitting kids right where they learn. Later, looks like paradise, but if you want a vacation there, better check the weather forecast. It's 125 in the shade.
On today's rough roads, if you ever need to stop quickly, consider replacing your worn shock absorbers. It can be like getting an extra 10 feet of road when you need it most. Replace your worn shocks with new Monroe SensaTrack, now with SafeTech. Unlike worn shocks, SensaTrack helps hold your tire to the road. Tests show you can stop an average of 10 feet sooner. Monroe SensaTrack, making the road a safer place. For the Monroe SensaTrack dealer near you, call 1-888-SAFER-RIDE.
All right, Friskies! Who's up for some breakfast? Relax, kid, you're not on the menu. Now here's the good stuff. Love that taste. Friskies!
1 Minute Maalox.
Heartburn at this hour is a nightmare, that unbearable burning. I need something that starts to work fast. The minute I take Maalox, I know help is on the way.
1 Minute Maalox. Cooling, coating, calming. You can feel it right away. Maalox goes to work on stomach acid in 1 minute. Pepsid AC could take over 45 minutes to affect acid.
I can't afford to lose any sleep. Thanks, Maalox.
For heartburn or acid indigestion, count on 1 Minute Maalox.
The amazing hefty one-zip food bag. It clicks closed to lock in freshness.
Little guy's got spunk.
One-Zip, the hefty-duty food bag.
You're not taking that laxative. It's got stimulants that may cause cramping.
Says who?
Says on the label. Don't you know nothing's better than Phillips Milk of Magnesia?
All these overnight laxatives have stimulants that may cause cramping. Phillips doesn't. It's the only one that's stimulant-free.
And you know, Phillips...
She never takes a vacation.
Phillips, effective relief without harsh stimulants. And also try convenient liquid gels.
Now to a fleecing of America that involves big money and a sophisticated investment scheme gone bad. But the victims are kids, and their school money is gone. Here's NBC's Mike Jensen.
In the small town of Tyrone, Pennsylvania, the kids are enjoying their summer vacation. But when they go back to school this fall, they'll have fewer computers and less laboratory equipment because the money to buy those things has disappeared. Thanks to John Gardner Black, who was entrusted with investing millions of dollars in school funds.
That amount of money that we lost is just entirely inconceivable.
And we are victims of fraud.
Black was the financial advisor for 54 rural school districts in Pennsylvania, including Tyrone. But authorities say instead of making safe investments, he put the money into risky, complicated bonds, racked up more than $70 million in losses, and then covered it up.
It's one thing to lose your own money, but you're losing taxpayers' dollars.
Black got away with it because everybody trusted him. He was one of Tyrone's leading citizens, and he provided plenty of financial documents to the school districts saying everything was fine. But the Securities and Exchange Commission found out it was anything but fine. After a routine audit of Black's books, the SEC charged him with fraud, shut him down, and barred him from the securities business for life. Ronald Long of the SEC says Black neither admitted nor denied the charges, but agreed to the settlement.
What Mr. Black's scheme had developed into was a Ponzi scheme. He's taking money from new school districts, new investors, to pay off obligations he had to earlier or older school districts.
Black is now holed up at his farm outside Tyrone, awaiting results of a criminal investigation. Unlike most Ponzi schemes, there's no evidence that he profited personally. His lawyer says he complied with all regulations and that the SEC, by shutting him down, sealed in the losses.
There's a good reason to believe that the school districts would have received all that they were promised and perhaps more.
But in Tyrone, where this school project is only half finished, officials say it's too late for that kind of talk. Property taxes in Tyrone have already gone up.
Who needs a pencil?
And of course, the ultimate losers are the school children, in a fleecing that authorities say hurt those least able to protect themselves. Mike Jensen, NBC News, Philadelphia.
I'll be back with a look at the hottest spot in America, and I mean 125 degrees hot. But first, a look at a new government report on the changing face of this country's children. Some surprising facts about who our kids are, how they live.
In the beginning, all was darkness and sorrow. And then, one day, now, it is time. The new Maytag Dual Cool Refrigerator, where finally the temperatures are just right. Yay, our future looks bright indeed, for this refrigerator actually keeps food fresh.
Gas?
Mm-hmm.
Bloating?
Uh-huh.
Need relief that's Phazyme fast?
Yes.
Get maximum strength Phazyme with 33% more gas medicine in each pill. Relieve gas, Phazyme fast. More medicine, fast relief, Phazyme.
License, please.
Was I speeding?
Negative, but I see you're driving the all-new Seville STS with the North Star system. Most powerful front-wheel drive car in the world with performance algorithm shifting that gives you incredible control.
Uh-huh.
So I have just one question. Do you feel lucky, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Yes, I do. You should.
The all-new Seville STS. It's what's next.
I need to feel strong.
I need him. Because we all need something different to feel our best, One A Day has created different formulas. One especially for women, one for men, and one for people over 50. One A Day. It's just what you need.
Morning. A tranquil time to prepare that perfect cereal breakfast. Grains harvested by hand. Milk fresh from the source. All meticulously arrayed.
You've got to be kidding.
Of course. For mornings at your pace, there's new Kellogg's Breakfast Mates with a bowl of your kids' favorite Kellogg's cereal, milk and spoon in one. It's everything you need to make breakfast easier. Kellogg's Breakfast Mates in the refrigerated section.
Channel 4 News, working for you.
Coming up on the scene at 6, they risk their lives to save other people's homes and property. They are volunteer Tennessee firefighters. At 6 o'clock, an exclusive look at the special bond these brave men formed as they battle Florida wildfires. The news is just ahead.
In most of the country tonight, folks are saying, how do I get out of this heat? But in one of the hottest places in the world, other folks are saying, hey, this is great. Death Valley, California, destination for the lovers of the red hot. NBC's George Lewis.
As the sun rises this morning over the 3 million acre Death Valley National Park, so does the temperature. Up from an overnight low of only 87 to almost 100 degrees by 8:30 a.m. Terry Baldino of the National Park Service checking the official weather station.
Today I think it's supposed to get up to 123.
It is the hottest and the lowest spot in the Western Hemisphere, 282 feet below sea level. And this summer, while most Americans are fleeing the heat, Death Valley is actually overrun. Who would come here? European tourists.
I come to this place just to feel how terrible it is.
Sightseeing is very beautiful, but the heat is incredible.
Terry Baldino says the Europeans helped Death Valley break a record, 1.2 million visitors last year.
The extremes of the temperatures here, the extremes of the depth of this area of the park, I think is what attracts people to Death Valley. And this time of year, it's mostly the European visitors who want to experience that.
And then there are the people testing themselves. 30 runners preparing for tomorrow's ultra marathon called the Badwater. They'll race 135 miles without stopping. Female record holder Lisa Smith is often asked why.
It's such a huge accomplishment to finish this course because, I truly believe there's only a small fraction of people in this universe that could actually run this course and survive, let alone race through it. And just to know that, you're one of the few people that can do it and truly enjoy it.
The runners claim the weather is absolutely perfect for this event. Today, the temperature in Death Valley topped out at 123 degrees. If it's any comfort, that's still below the record high of 134 degrees set in 1913. George Lewis, NBC News, Death Valley.
And only a small fraction of the people in the universe think it makes any sense to try to run through Death Valley. Tomorrow night, the most popular new drug in the world. But why should insurance companies pay for Viagra? Force them. One man is going to court.
This is for all the men, all the senior citizens that are buying this Viagra at $10 a pill. I want them to know that this is for all of us senior citizens.
A little pill that's changed millions of lives. We'll have an in-depth report. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll see you back here tomorrow night.
NBC Nightly News is America's most watched evening news program.
Friday, the plaza will be rocking when Hootie and the Blowfish take the stage.